What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to my channel. My name is Connor White, also known as Ultimate Majin. Today, I happen to be bringing you my Majin Buu deck profile. Of course, my Majin Buu Evo. Just took this deck to an Ultimate Battle. I won the event, as you can see here. We got this cool Ultimate Battle winner, Spirit Bombing Goku. This is the one you play in the Vegito deck that you'll give the Double Strike to. Very nice looking card. And then we also happen to get these Janembas, which are awesome. Obviously, I want to put these in my deck for the deck profile, but I'd rather show them to you guys outside of it. Just need one more. This is very awesome. So very happy with that. It was a Halo coup in the finals. And I ended up using doing a two double striker Kid Buu plays. First one I used to have him play into my board to I could final explosion his Gohan's away to help me set up for my lethal on the following turn or a turn after with my double striker Kid Buu into a Babidi into a double swing Buu. That being said, the leader, real quick, for those of you who don't know, he says when he attacks, you draw once per turn, and then when a Majin or an evil wizard gets KO'd during yours or your opponent's turn, you get to restand himself or an energy. Did use both effects this turn, this tournament, whether it was restand himself for an extra swing, the turn I awaken, or an energy to continue extending to put bodies in play. This leader is very, very broken. And I'm very much looking forward to the support we'll be getting. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that this deck will be getting hit in the ban list next week. So it's really awesome that I was able to get this quick win with the Ultimate Battle one last time. As well as a chance to show you guys this deck profile before that ban list comes out. That being said, let's get into it here. We're going to show off the... so, very funny, I played 12 cantrips. So we got 4 of this one, 4 of this one, and then 4 of this one. So I just played 12. I want to see all my pieces. It's very important because yellow doesn't have very many 10Ks. So we just put up this wall of bodies, continuously draw, keep our hand size large, have the food for our guys to KO, to keep playing, and keep drawing, as well as keep restanding our units to keep swinging with, as well as to use to block and push for damage. So very important in this yellow deck to play these 12. You could play any amount that you like. I would just suggest more than 9. Next, on to the other 1-drops. We got 4 yellow Frieza, 1-drop, the 10K guy. This is obviously one of the best cards in the yellow, or like one of the better yellow cards. He's a 10K, and then on play he rests a card, so he has a lot of nice synergy with the 4-drop Frieza, with the 4-drop Goku, and Final Explosion. Because for the reason why Final Explosion in those cards is because it can rest things that Final Explosion wouldn't be able to kill, or that aren't rested for Frieza to kill. So he's really awesome, and then he's also a 10K body too, so there are times where you could swing with him and get a little bit of value out of that in that case too. Next, we have just 2 2-drops. We got 2 knees. He's a 10K body. Helps you self-awaken. He's a blocker, which is always nice. It's always nice to have a few blockers in your deck to make sure you're just not getting ran through. But I couldn't see myself needing any more than 2. He kind of falls off in value late game. But he is a 10K combo all the time, so that's why he's good. It's funny because my friend Damien mentions that this card's like anything but a blocker, because a lot of the time you just send him out there, you swing with him, he'll take a life, help you push for damage and stuff like that, keep your hand size up. Knees, great card. Suggest 2. You could play 2 to 4 of that. 4 Janembas, of course, is one of the stars in yellow. Can't wait to put the other ones in here, of course, with these new artworks, the Ultimate Battle ones, of course. Sorry, I just had to show off one last time. But this guy's awesome. Restand in energy, rest the guy, take a life. So he's really broken, helps you extend, helps you synergize with your cards where that want things rested, helps you keep pushing for damage. The fact that he's a 25K is nice because in blue matchups, when they're 15, he's nice because when you're swinging at leader with this card, it takes multiple cards, because blue has a lot of 10K. So when it's time to start pushing them into awakening them and getting into the late game to where we start pushing for damage, Genova comes in very handy. And then he also is just that resting part. Resting card is obviously very broken. Next, we have the Buhan. This guy's really awesome. He lets you KO unit to draw a card, and then if you have 6, or if your opponent has 6 or more cards in their hand, you discard a card from their hand. So you'll combo him with the Babidi in the deck to discard multiple cards off them, or you'll KO any of those cantrips or any other unit, really, for that most part, even himself, to continuously draw and cycle and rip cards from their hand. You know what I mean? So there's times where you get into this game where you'll end up ripping 5 to 6 cards from their hand throughout the game through this card and your Babidis. Plus, like, your League swinging, discarding their hand size down and everything, controlling their hand size. This card's very broken in that sense. And then it's like, just one of my own little text is like, when it's time to start turning things sideways and start KOing stuff, I like to push with him. He's 25. He can KO himself to draw a card, potentially rip a card, and then he'll trigger your leader ability. So he's very, very spicy. Next, we have, like, this is pretty much like the other guys, I guess. The double buff goo, the double attacker, the buff boost. So this guy, he can KO a unit to restand himself. And then only when your leader is Majin, and then he can't restand himself during the charge phase. But he's a 3-drop 30k, so he's an insane amount of pressure. He just helps clear things. Him swinging at 30k or 20k leader at 30k is obviously very broken. And then you'll want another tech for him. As there's times where you don't even need to KO him, KO a unit to restand himself. There'll be times where you want to just pop himself with his own ability to trigger the leader ability to restand himself, the leader that is, or another energy. So a lot of unique plays with him. He can also KO any of your cantrips, or they can KO this Bobbity here. This is one everyone hates, or that everyone would like to be hit in some way. So what he does is on play, you get to play a 3-cost or less Majin card from your hand. And then when he's KO'd, you get to discard a card from your opponent's hand if they have 6 or more. So he's an evil wizard card. He extends into the play. So that way you have a free body to KO off of your Majin Buu cards, which will also trigger your leader ability at that time also. And then you'll be able to get multiple discards off. So seeing multiple 2 to 3 copies of this card throughout the game is going to kind of ensure a certain victory. And then don't be scared too, guys. To KO this card, even if you're not getting a discard out of their hand, just being able to trigger your leader ability and trigger your other units' abilities to have a unit to discard is, of course, still very, very broken. And then not to mention, he's still a 5k combo power. He can ram into units that are 5k, so it's nice to notice. Like, let's say we have, like Janemba, rest the guy down, restand in energy, tap those 3 energy, play Bobbity into a buff boo or a hand rip. Bobbity swing into a 1-cost guy that we rested possibly with their Janemba, or that they already had turned sideways, and then KO this unit to trigger one of our other bigger guys' abilities, which will then make a discard and then trigger the leader. Yeah, so that, obviously, as you can tell, lots of combos with this card, or just lots of combos with Majin Buu, period. That's why I like this deck. It's like the perfect combo for me. I like to play control, but I also like to kill you when I want to. It's almost going to be sad to see this deck go, because I feel like this deck was almost made for me in a way, and I will be playing for a few months. But there's other yellow decks that I'll come to enjoy, I'm sure, that we'll find and play together. So next we got 2 4-cost Goku. I used to play like 3 to 4 of this, but it's just not needed all the time. He has a 10k body. I'd rather just play all these cantrips to see this guy when I need him and have him when I need him, versus just clogging on him and having clunky cards in hand. I would say in other yellow decks, you probably increase his cards to like 3 or 4. Unfortunately, I don't have this guy for the time for my deck profile to show you guys, because this deck is getting there now in terms of the nice cards. But expect more of Goku's in other decks, yellow decks. And honestly, expect more yellow Gokus and maybe even more Majin Buu decks of mine in the future. I really do stand by this card. Just having multiple of this card is insanely broken. Next, we got 2 of the 4-cost Frieza. Of course, this guy's just kind of generic. I'm not really going to say too much about him. He just KOs anything that's 5 costs or less. Not KOs, but places and drop. Very important. And then he has barrier. He's the 30k standing unit, so he's insanely broken, of course. Probably one of the best secret rares in the game. Got yellow on its back right now. Yellow is obviously insanely good, but I promise you this deck would not be as good if this card didn't exist, because this just fixes a lot of matchups. Like, if yellow didn't have this card, you guys wouldn't be complaining about this deck as much, because Jiren would be mollywopping this deck. But it doesn't, because it has this card, you know what I mean? So, unfortunate that we're going to get a balance gun, because you could just put more cards into other colored formats, like the black deck and the red deck, which are pretty much already right there. Just need like one more wave support, but it's all right. We'll see this deck go. This guy, very broken. Could see yourself playing more copies, maybe not in this deck, but in other yellow decks in the future. And I can honestly see this card, unless we get barrier removal at one point, I can see this card getting even more complaints about. Next, we have the Double Striker Kid Boos. This is how you pretty much kill people, of course. My favorite thing to do is resolve this card multiple times in one game. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and like play one early, have one in hand, of course, and then we'll use this one that we played in early to help push for damage. We'll go ahead and play this. We'll swing with our leader if possible, if he's awakened. Then we'll attack with this or attack with this, force all the cards out of their hand, pop this to restand this, swing with another 30, and then they'll try and play into board to clear this, or if we don't, if we have a 1-drop to KO this, like I said earlier, what they'll do is they'll try and kill these guys. They'll swing into these or try and clear. We'll final explosion them on the crackback. So they'll play right into that, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and following, the turn following or the turn 2 turns after, we'll go ahead and play the second copy, and that'll allow us to just kill our opponents down. That's really actually how I beat green a lot in blue, is you want to hit them from 5 to 3, and then that's how you do it, is by doing the double striker Kimbu play. And that's what I call it. I know it's a mouthful, and I know I'm talking fast, but I just really wanted to get this deck profile out for you guys, because I've been procrastinating the Majin Buu deck, and there's just not really anything particularly crazy about this deck. It's a 12 cantrip Majin Buu deck, with just maxing on all the good cards, and like the ratios are pretty much just figured out in terms of my list, I think. So 3 of this bad boy, he's insane. Very happy to get this card. These are the regional top 8 ones, in case you guys were curious. All right, and then next, what do we got? Boom. We got our super combos, of course. We got the 4 Bibbities, sorry. We got 2 energy absorption. I'm a big fan of this card. Just rest whatever you need. Draw cards if you need to. Being able to rest down important units to help kill is important, as well as, like, you know, just charging this card early game. It's not needed early game, so it's like a pretty easy charge in my opinion. I used to try and keep extras, but the thing is, extras are like kind of niche, where it's like hopefully you have it when you need it, not like kind of trying to search for it in a matchup, so to speak, unless it's like an insanely power extra. Also, by the way, hopefully one day we get secret rare extra cards, right? Anyone thought about that? Would love to have those. Or secret rare super combos that do stuff. I'm really looking forward to what cards could be in this game. Needed this also for matchups like Gogeta, the black deck, and Broly deck, of course. That's really why this card's in there for the most part. And then next, we got the 3 final explosions. Very awesome. Just, you know, when you start ripping their hand, make them play into board, clear all their stuff. It's really funny because the Majin Buu deck, you know, it's like, do you want to get your hand ripped, or do you want to get your board blown up and swung down, you know, or frozen? So, big fan of the Majin Buu deck. Thank you guys for joining. Hopefully you guys liked my Ultimate Battle winner Majin Buu deck profile. We got first place. Expect more content coming soon. Go watch my Jiren deck profile, my Gogeta deck profile on my channel. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what I should improve on. Let me know what you guys want to see. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Please hit that notification bell. That way you can see when I upload content as well. You guys have a great day. Bye.